I remember peeling rubbery, warped paint off my bathroom vanity just months after redoing it. The humidity had completely destroyed the surface, and the cheap paint I bought cracked like dry earth. Choosing the right cabinet paint for high moisture areas is a nightmare filled with confusing labels and false promises. Today, I'm breaking down the top 5 bathroom cabinet paints I've rigorously tested to save you that expensive, frustrating headache. But wait until you see the number 1 pick. It completely changed how I think about DIY bathroom makeovers. Let's count them down. 5. Beyond Paint. When I first started testing Beyond Paint, the marketing claims immediately caught my attention. It promises a complete cabinet transformation with no stripping, no sanding, and no priming required. As someone who has spent countless hours sanding down old varnish in cramped, dusty bathrooms, the idea of skipping all that prep work sounded like an absolute dream. I cracked open a container of their furniture and cabinet paint, specifically testing the multi-surface application on a glossy, outdated oak vanity that had seen better days. The paint itself has a unique, pudding-like consistency that feels incredibly thick when you load it onto your roller. Applying the product is undeniably straightforward, and the coverage is quite dense right out of the jar. Because it is so thick, it clings to the brush and roller, allowing you to lay down a heavy coat very quickly. I used a thick microfiber roller as recommended, and it did a decent job of masking the heavy wood grain of the oak vanity. For a quick weekend flip where you just need to change the color of a vanity without breaking a sweat, it certainly gets paint onto the surface faster than almost anything else on the market. However, that highly advertised, no prep claim acts as a serious double-edged sword, especially in a bathroom environment. Bathrooms are incredibly hostile spaces for paint, filled with fluctuating humidity, steam from showers, and constant water splashes. Because I followed the instructions and skipped sanding, the mechanical bond between the paint and the glossy wood just wasn't strong enough to withstand my scratch test. 4. Emerald Interior Acrylic Latex Paint. Sherwin-Williams is a titan in the paint industry, and their Emerald line is widely considered one of their most premium, top-tier offerings. I was genuinely excited to get my hands on the Emerald Interior Acrylic Latex Paint to see if its high price tag translated to high performance on bathroom cabinetry. This paint is celebrated for its incredible washability and advanced stain blocking technology, which are exactly the kind of features you want when dealing with toothpaste splatters and makeup spills. I decided to test it on a heavily used primary bathroom vanity to see how it would hold up to daily, rigorous abuse. Right from the first brush stroke, the application experience is undeniably luxurious. The paint flows beautifully off a synthetic brush, and it has exceptional self-leveling properties that smooth out brush marks almost entirely as it dries. The color depth is absolutely stunning, providing a rich, vibrant finish that genuinely elevates the look of the room. It also has very low Vox, which made painting in a small, poorly ventilated bathroom much more pleasant than working with traditional, heavy fume alkyd paints. But despite its premium formulation, using this specific architectural wall paint on bathroom cabinets revealed some frustrating drawbacks during my testing process. Because it is an acrylic latex formulation primarily designed for drywall, it retains a slight rubbery flexibility even after it feels dry to the touch. This resulted in a surprisingly long curing phase. For the first 2 weeks, the cabinet doors felt subtly tacky, especially after a hot shower steamed up the room. When the cabinet doors closed against the vanity frame, they would occasionally stick, peeling a tiny fleck of the beautiful finish right off the wood. 3. KILZ Tribute Paint and Primer. Most of us know KILZ for their heavy-duty stain-blocking primers, so when I saw they offered a premium interior paint and primer in one, I had to see if their legendary blocking power translated to a top coat. I applied this to a guest bathroom vanity that had a very dark, stubborn cherry wood stain, expecting to need 3 or 4 coats to completely hide the underlying color. The coverage blew me away right out of the gate. KILZ Tribute utilizes an advanced acrylic formulation that feels highly pigmented and substantial on the roller. It easily masked the dark cherry wood in just 2 coats, living up to its promise of being a genuine paint and primer combination. It laid down smoothly, and I didn't experience any of the dragging or pulling that sometimes happens with thicker, primer-heavy mixtures. The finish dried to a very handsome, consistent sheen that instantly modernized the space without looking plastic or artificial. What really impressed me was how well it handled the specific environmental challenges of a bathroom. I subjected the dried finish to a battery of moisture tests, including leaving puddles of warm water on the cabinet surface for hours to simulate a sloppy face washing routine. The KILZ Tribute repelled the water effortlessly, without softening or blistering. The adhesion, even over the tricky edges of the cabinet doors, felt incredibly robust, snapping tightly to the wood and resisting my attempts to peel or scratch it away with a coin. 2. Sherwin-Williams Infinity. This paint is marketed as having 1 coat coverage and extreme durability, and I wanted to push those claims to their absolute limit. I selected the ultra-white color, which is notoriously difficult to get right without multiple coats, and set to work on a dingy, yellowed laminate bathroom vanity. The goal was to see if a premium paint could handle a slick, non-porous surface in a damp environment. The application of Infinity is a deeply satisfying experience. It features a proprietary cross-linking technology that allows the paint to glide on effortlessly while maintaining a tightly bound, dense structure. Even using a basic foam roller, the paint leveled itself out to an impossibly smooth, factory-like finish. And to my absolute shock, the 1 coat coverage claim actually held true. A single, even pass completely obliterated the ugly yellow laminate beneath it, leaving behind a brilliant, opaque white surface that looked incredibly professional. When it comes to durability in a bathroom setting, Infinity is practically bulletproof. Once it fully cured, the surface felt rock hard, completely avoiding the sticky, tacky feeling I experienced with lesser latex paints. I took a scrubbing sponge and abrasive bathroom cleaner to the vanity doors to simulate years of aggressive cleaning, and the Infinity finish didn't lose a fraction of its sheen. It actively repels moisture, making wiping away toothpaste, hard water spots, and stray shaving cream an absolute breeze. The color retention and depth are also top tier, ensuring that your bright whites won't yellow over time due to humidity and lack of natural light. It stands up to the harsh, fluctuating environment of a primary bathroom with total ease. 1. Nuvo Couture. The reason this product takes the #1 spot is entirely due to its specialized formulation. Unlike every other paint on this list, Nuvo is specifically engineered from the ground up strictly for cabinetry. I tested the Couture color on a massive, outdated primary bathroom vanity, and the results were nothing short of a professional, custom cabinetry transformation. The secret to Nuvo's dominance lies in its unique acrylic urethane blend. While standard acrylics are great for walls, the addition of urethane gives this paint a hard, enamel-like shell that is practically impervious to the specific threats found in a bathroom. When applying it, the paint has a beautiful, rich consistency that clings to corners and routed edges without pooling or dripping. It self-levels so perfectly that even an absolute beginner can achieve a brush mark-free finish that looks like it was sprayed on in a factory booth. Because it is designed for cabinets, the curing process is specifically calibrated for high-contact surfaces. It dries rapidly to the touch, and once fully cured, it forms a protective barrier that scoffs at shower steam and direct water contact. I aggressively tested the Couture finish by continuously subjecting it to heavy moisture, chemical bathroom cleaners, and repeated physical impacts with hair dryers and curling irons. The paint didn't chip, peel, scratch, or fade. It maintained its deep, luxurious dark brown hue flawlessly. What makes Nuvo the ultimate winner is that it provides a complete, foolproof system that guarantees success. It eliminates the guesswork of pairing the right primers and topcoats because the durability is built directly into the formula. Outro. That's all for today, folks.